We have a lady now on stage. She's fighting against bias in this space, and she is the founder of Women DAO. And she will talk to lovely guests. They will introduce them by herself. Welcome, a warm welcome for Dajana, Eder.
Hello.
Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you so much for the introduction. Hello. So, I'm Dajana, the founder of Women DAO. With Women DAO, we try to onboard as many women and diverse people as possible. So our topic today is bias, how we hold women back. So let's discuss this with my guests today, with my panelists, Dr. Su-Zeong Fröhlich, Vanessa Schäfer, and Uma Hagenguth. So mostly we get taught that a wallet does not know gender. So this is a huge chance for Web3. But we are all socialized differently, especially as women to men, or if you're attending the LGBTQII plus community or BIPOCs, or probably people with disabilities. So what we are going to just discuss today is what do we need to change? How do we need to change also our focus, our behavior to onboard as many diverse people to this space? So Sui, with your company, with your brand Visibler, you're trying to onboard especially BIPOCs. So can you explain us what BIPOCs are, or also what are implicit and internalized bias? And what do you do? And probably some statistics. Do you have some statistics?
I got some numbers, yes. Thank you for the introduction. I'm really, really excited to speak at W3 Vision, and very grateful to be here. My name is Zui, and I started Visibler. It's an NFT art and social project in Web3 for Black, Indigenous people of color. And we are focusing on BIPOC living in Germany, since here there is the representation of BPOC is lacking. So we want to change that. And what numbers do we have? I think almost everyone came across with the number 95%, 86%. There are different studies about what people are currently represented in blockchain space or Web3, and 86% means 86% men. Gladly, that's our impression. We don't see 86%, maybe it's 60 or 75%. So our work is getting fruitful, and really proud of it. And how can we do this? What does onboarding mean? And onboarding means inclusion, and this works over education. And this is why we are also focusing with researchers, with studies. So a little bit about my background. I'm a physician, but have been in Web3 now for over a year now. And and maybe there's another term I wanna mention. It's intersectional diversity, because onboarding does not only mean that we have gender disparity of 86% or maybe here 60, 70%. It also means that we need people who can co-create a rising space where we see huge potential of making a better world. And what does intersectional diversity mean? It means, or what does intersectional discrimination mean? It means that you can be affected because of due to your gender, but also race, religion, if you have a disability, and you can have all those categories at the same time, and that means intersectional discrimination. So we don't only want to address women, but for me, with my POC background, we want to offer a platform for BPOC. that's why we're here.
Thank you so much. Yeah, because we're socialized to have a view on or a point of view to our world from a white perspective, mostly from a male, white, heteronormative perspective. So what I wanted to know from you, Vanessa, a few weeks ago, I had a talk and a female founder said to me, we need to onboard female or women or diverse community, we need to produce content that attracts all these people. So you're founder of Female Pleasure Society. So your target group are women, but what are your experiences with onboarding a diverse community? What did you learn? And probably what are your challenges?
So I hope my voice is like sticking to the last minute. I'm so sorry. I talked so much the couple of days. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for being here. I think it's not only onboarding women, it's like onboarding everyone. Like the usability right now sucks. You need to create a wallet, then you need to get cryptocurrency, then you can buy an NFT. It's like really hard for people to understand how you can do it, what the technology is. And as you said, it's really important that we can educate the people. I think experience is like the best way to know the things. And that's how I came into the NFT space. My boyfriend was giving me an NFT for my birthday. And I was like, okay, what should I do with it now? And then I learned about it and I read a lot about it and I fell down the rabbit hole and I love it since then. And I think that's how I do it right now. All of my friends have like, for their birthdays, they get an NFT from me. And that's how they learn. That's how they come into the space. And with Female Pleasure Society, we want to bring female health into Web3, but our mission is also to like get more women into the space and to educate them, not only what is an NFT, what the technology means, but also like giving them a real utility behind the NFT. And I think that's also how we can like bring more women, more diversity into the space, that we have like real products behind the NFT, a real company. We do a lot of like in Discord, we everyone can ask questions, we answer them. It's like an open space. And I think that's like one of the biggest challenges because there are so many questions with wallets, cryptocurrency, NFTs. And I think we need more education and we need also men to like, I always tell the men in our community, hey, you have a wife, a girlfriend, a daughter, a grandmother, whoever, please like get them into the space, give them an NFT, try to like educate them because we need that to create more diversity. Yeah, that's how we do it.
Thank you so much. Yeah, because when we talk about smart contracts, about code, a code does not know any biases. So, because the code is probably bias-free. It does not know the gender, the skin color, everything we talked before. But as long the code is coded by white men, it is discriminating. But what I wanted to know from you, Uma, you're the founder of a Web3 application similar to Instagram. It's a post-to-earn system. Can you tell me something about what did you learn about, especially how can women find their space in Web3 and which chances do you see for them, especially in 2022, where we're doing so much of onboarding work?
Yeah, absolutely. Hi, everyone. My name is Uma. I'm co-founder and COO of Apix. We're a Web3 company based in Switzerland. I came into the blockchain space in 2013, so I learned about it very early on, where there were no females whatsoever. I mean, a couple, but like the minority, it's still a minority, but I mean, now when you look around how many women there are, it's truly impressive to see that and how much the whole industry, the whole space has shifted. I became actually full-time in 2016 when the first blockchain came out that had more applications that are easy to use, where you don't necessarily have to understand the technicalities in order to earn tokens to become part of that space. And that's really what we need to build. And what we're focused on as a company as well is just looking at, I mean, yes, you can say, hey, everybody should be, a tech engineer, or why don't you just, go and learn how to like code a smart contract? But maybe not everybody's interested in that. And like the tech industry has been male dominated, I think for also a reason. I mean, the one thing I do say is that education is highly important, right? If you don't try things, then you don't know what you're capable of or what you might enjoy doing. But the main thing is for me is like taking the responsibility to say, no matter what, like biases are, I think, always going to be there in some form or another, right? Like we go towards like it's a progress and we're going in the right direction, but no matter what people, might have in their minds, what they think about you, even if you're the only female walking into a room, if you know what you're capable of, if you know you have hard skills and you're competent to solve a problem, then, you have a right to be there. And the market is going to decide whether, that what you're building is successful or not. So I think we've never been in a more opportunistic time ever before when you look at history, right? Like how far we've come. And right now it's just a matter of, I think, stepping up and like being courageous and saying, I can do this. Like it's, and you have so much support within that community. Like the space is so welcoming and open-minded that I don't necessarily always think, that the bias, or we should be focusing so much on what biases are there or what problems do we have. Let's focus on what real world problems are out there and how can we fix them. And as women, get involved, speak up, speak your mind, like think about like problems and how you could potentially solve them or what you think about them, right? And in general, I also am a big fan of, instead of making spaces like, we have the Women in Web3 panel right now, like, right, that we're a part of, but we should be on the experts panels. We should have more women, we should have more diversity on the experts panel. And for that to happen, for one, you need people that are experts in this space, because it doesn't help, to be honest, to have a lot of females, like, companies will hire like a hostess or something for them to represent their brand. And then you have a bunch of women walking around in a conference. But if they're not into the subject, if they don't really care, then that doesn't bring us forward. So I really think what's important is that we focus on hard skills, making sure that there's resources, that there's education out there, and applications like we're building with Apix. So one of the things we're building is a social media app launched on the App Store this year, last year on the Google Play Store. And it rewards users for sharing content, for interacting with content. And we have almost as many females on the platform as males, because that's something they're interested in, or a majority of them. So you get them into the space first, you start earning tokens, just like you said, you had an NFT, and then you're like, well, now what do I do with it? Then comes the educational portion. We're like, all right, so now I'm going to learn how to set up a wallet, how to exchange my tokens, and how to invest them to turn them into more. So I think all of those resources are important. And like right now, just taking the responsibility to say, like, I'm gonna find a way, I'm gonna learn, and there's people who are there to support me.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Because also what I wanted to address is we have all these discrimination issues outside. So we have to face them first, and then we can also go through and change it. Because from my perspective, I am a white woman. So I have the opportunity and the chance, but also I have to do it. I have to onboard as many people as possible, because there are a lot of women out there who are probably not next to someone who will tell them something about Web3, no?
Exactly. So I 100% agree with you. We shouldn't be doing this panel. We should be on the
talking about Web3.
We should be experts. And this just shows me there's still a long road we need to go until but it's a very great first step. And we are still a platform or a stage for everyone to welcome in order to become an expert eventually. And
I think who is sorry, I don't want to interrupt, but who is an expert right now? I think we are all new in this space. Everyone is learning. Yeah, but like 9 years. Okay, maybe you're an expert. Maybe you're an expert.
I don't want to say expert. I think just what's important to realize is that once you get to a level of like deeper understanding, that there's a stage that can, help you to get that voice out there. And I think it is out there. I mean, I've spoken on over 20 stages across the world, and for me, it's always been, a very positive feedback. But yes, the goal is that we only do these, right? Like get more women that just came in, give them the stage, versus saying, let's talk about the issues we face as women, but which we do, obviously. And I think probably everybody is aware of that, there are biases with all of, with people of color and everything that you mentioned. But yeah.
I mean, you mentioned another aspect, that's when you're onboarding women, that mostly they're like organizing, facilitating, like being community managers. What is necessary or still missing that we can create a new generation of female techies, for instance? So there's another study, obviously, that I did some research on it. So from a young age on, girls and boys already know what they are, on what fields they're interested. And STEM subjects are, just because there so many boys are doing STEM and are computer engineering interested, young girls already say, I'm not interested, even though intrinsically they might be interested. So we need to onboard not only us women, it starts from a very young age on. We need a cultural shift, a paradigm shift. And this is what we should also focus on. I mean, last week it was Blockchain Week in Berlin, and Bitcoin organized a Bitcoin workshop for children. That's amazing. And maybe that's a direction we could go, that we not only educate women to become community managers, which are super important, but also maybe we find the female developers of tomorrow.
Yeah, I think it starts in the school age, and I think it's like with the NFT projects, to be more female, to be more female focused. Like we are interested in different topics. Not only every woman is interested in games, and that's a lot of NFT Web3 projects which are gaming. And I don't know if that's like really interesting for us, or I don't know. But I think it starts, as you said, it's the education topic, and it starts in school. It starts maybe in kindergarten as well. So I think, we need to have more education there.
Absolutely. And what I wanted to say as well is, as long as we do not speak up, and as long as we do not take the chances, because what I really believe in is Web3 is bias-free. So we could work through a wallet, through a graphic profile picture, but also a pseudonym. So we do not necessarily need to use our clear name. So this is a huge chance for us, but also we need to take the responsibility for everything we do, for all the steps we take, the decisions we make. And we should just go forward and try to attract as many as diverse people to the space, and to give them a chance to speak out loud, because we are all valuable, and because all our needs need to be represented as well. And this is the chance, because Web3 space is unlimited. Everyone can just stand up and create whatever they want to do, to create, to find a community, to try to connect with other people, and just to try to make their needs represented, and take responsibility for that.
Absolutely. And when you're good enough, you can't be ignored. Like once you do develop those skills and you have something amazing, you have an idea, you go out there, just takes, maybe one other person to believe in that, and off you go. So, and the other thing is, right, the internet. I mean, the unlimited amount of resources that we have available. And I think a lot of times males are more likely to find those resources and then spend their time learning something, developing those hard skills. But if we say, look, we have those same resources available, and even if, nobody believes in you, like you can still learn how to, go Google it, whatever, go on YouTube, find tutorials to learn how to build with Unreal Engine or something, Blender, or I don't know, learn how to code, or set up an NFT, and you do that and then just push it out there, get it out to the world. And now through Web3, we don't even need our own identities anymore, right? You could be potentially anonymous. You could be you could have an ape as your picture on whatever, right? I mean, apes are one thing, but anything, you can put it up there and launch projects and market it that way. And it could blow up overnight. And then you're like, hey, by the way, this was made by a female founder. So I think unlimited amount of opportunities, resources, connect with people, ask, get in touch, and just never stop learning.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest opportunity in Web3. Everyone is new, everyone wants to learn something, everyone educates everyone, so everyone can learn from everybody. And I think everyone is curious. Everyone knows not everything, so we are here to learn and we are here to answer questions. And I think this space is perfect for everybody.
And it's still early.
It's still early.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Everybody
it's
says
still
that,
early.
but it's true.
So I just wanted to have one last sentence from you all. Something you want to say out loud to motivate, to what would your advice be?
So there is a big discussion about inclusion, participation, diversity, and let's not use those terms like it's so shallow, just only talk about it, but also keep in mind, what does participation truly mean? It means to also part from your privileges that you have in order to onboard people. That means participation. You need to give away something. And if I'm privileged, why would I give away my privilege? But in order to reach that utopian goal for parity, you need to say goodbye to some of your privileges, because onboarding doesn't go by default. So yeah, that's what I would like to share.
Absolutely, it's so important, because also when I started to create this talk, and when I had the chats with Vicky, and I said, so, okay, probably I need to step back, not only me speaking about diversity and inclusion, but making and opening a space for more diverse women to speak about this topic. So thank you so much.
I would say just be bullish and ask questions. And if you're the only woman in the room, then just ask questions and learn about from anyone about everything. And we are all early. So yeah, just try to learn and be curious.
I love that. Stay curious is also what I always say. That's the main thing that's gotten me also in the position where I am. Because, in the beginning, it might not be easy, or it's not something you might necessarily be interested in, but you have to start in order to find out, right? And that's also how you find your own then authenticity within that, to say, okay, maybe I want to take a bit of a different shift or direction. I have a passion, and everybody has gifts that not somebody else has, and you can combine that with new skills that you learn to create something completely new. And so instead of looking at, what is everybody else doing, or, why are there not more people of color, or why not there more, women, how am I not being represented? Just focus on yourself, what you want to do, and look around, look at the resources that are available. And again, just always, I love that. Stay curious is my main one, because when you are curious, you're always learning. And when you learn, you get far in life.
So thank you all for listening. Let's connect with each other. Just come by to Vanessa. She's here around the corner on the booth. Just talk to us. Ask your questions. Be aware. It's your time. It's your time to shine. Take your space. Thank you so much.
Thank you.